Hello there. Have you ever watched The Amazing World of Gumball and you've noticed that Gumball and Darwin are animals, right? Have you ever wondered what kind of relationship do they have? Maybe they benefit each other, or one benefits, the other's not affected. Maybe they fight each other for food, or even one of them's a blood-sucking leech that feasts upon the other, or the stronger one eats the weaker one. Well, 1, 2, buckle your shoe and come join me. Okay, to start off, we have Commensalism. Commensalism, according to Britannica.com, is when an organism is getting a benefit from, well, the other organism, but the other organism that gives benefit is completely unaffected. It's not getting a benefit, nor is it getting harmed. So think of it as Charmander and Pikachu. Charmander, we all know Charmander, and Pikachu here. Okay, so due to how cold my room is, thanks to the air conditioner, it is insanely cold inside for both of them. But Charmander has the perfect defense mechanism for this. It has a little fire on its tail, and it helps it to keep warm during times like this. But Pikachu doesn't have a flame, so what does he do? He grabs onto the Charmander and sticks with it, keeping it warm. I guess you can argue that Charmander is getting a companion or company from the Pikachu, but the dude's introverted, so he's not getting a benefit from that, but he isn't getting hurt, so he does nothing about it. So he's literally just unaffected. Pikachu benefits from the Charmander's warmth, and Charmander's just there. He's just living his life normally. Well, next is Mutualism. According to necsi.edu, both organisms benefit from one another, like the flower and the bee, or the bumblebee. Bumblebees are usually hairy, so keep that in mind. Bumblebees benefit from flowers, from their pollen. The bumblebee would get the pollen to make food, but because of its hairy body, or fuzzy body, the pollens get stuck on its hairs. Thanks to that, it scatters the pollen all across the field, helping the flower out via reproducing. So yeah, the bee gets a benefit from the flower gets a benefit from the bee. Next is predation. Predation, according to our very own Sir Ray the Great, it is when a more dominant animal eats a weaker one for food. It is composed of both the prey and predator. The prey is the one that's getting eaten by the predator. The predator is the one who feasts upon the prey, like the fish and the shark. The shark is the predator and the fish is the prey. Another example would be the lion and the hare. Okay, very self-explanatory, but what about the praying mantis and the bird? Which is which? Who's the prey, who's the predator? I'll give you time to think. Okay, it's the praying mantis. The predator is the praying mantis. Yes, even though they're smaller, the praying mantis, because of its it's actually pretty strong, and it can take on small birds, but are bigger than the mantis. I don't know. It can also take out frogs. So that's that. Next is competition. Competition, from yours truly, as the name suggests, it's literally just fighting for food, water, shelter, even sunlight. Sunlight? Well, I'll give you examples to be more clear. Okay, so for food and water, food, hyenas fighting lions. They fight each other so they can eat each other. In this case, both can be the prey, but both can also be the predator. It's literally just fighting. Whoever lives gets to eat the carcass of the the one they killed. And for water, elephants and buffaloes. Think of it as a stream of river, and on that river, there's an elephant and a buffalo. They're both drinking it, and they notice each other. Because of how territorial both animals are, they're gonna be fighting. Whoever either leaves or gets killed, well, they lost. They lost the water. So yeah, kind of sad. For shelter, think of it as clownfish fighting fellow clownfishes. Nemo versus Nemo. To have the right to live in those coral reefs. It's very common for interspecies to be fighting each other because, well, they may be both fishes, clownfishes, but they're not in family. You know, yeah. For sunlight, the long-awaited one. It doesn't really occur in animals, but it's more prevalent in plants. Okay, think of a forest. In that forest, there's a big tree, some small ones. They all start off as young saplings. The older, the better, by the way, because if the tree is older, then it is much bigger. They compete by whichever tree can grow the most, or which tree is the biggest, then it's the one that's gonna get the most sunlight, and in doing so, it shades down the smaller ones, so they don't receive as much as sunlight as the bigger the tree. But isn't that parasitic? Parasitic? Well, no, and that actually brings us to our next relationship, which is parasitism. Parasitism, according to biolibratexts.org. Okay, I'm not gonna read all of that. That's too long. I'll summarize it, but I'll keep it up. Okay, parasitism is when an animal either lives inside or outside another organism. The other organism is called the host. It can be split into two types: endoparasitism and ectoparasitism. Endoparasitism refers to when the parasite lives inside the host. Examples of this would be basically hookworms that lives inside cats or even dogs. And endoparasitism. Oh wait, no, ectoparasitism is when an organism lives out. Oh wait, did I say? Okay, wait. Clarification, Karum. I forgot what I was supposed to say. Endoparasitism refers to when the organism lives inside the other organism, the host. The parasite lives inside. Okay, I did say that. Okay. Sorry. Ectoparasitism, like fleas and lice on dogs/humans. They basically harm the other while also getting the benefit from it. The host is the one that's getting harmed. But wait, I got a question. Do you think humans and bacterias have okay wait humans and bacterias are only restricted to parasitism, or can they also be mutualism? You can pause the video. Well, the answer is yes. Humans and bacteria can be both mutualistic. They can have a mutualistic relationship. There are safe bacteria in our stomach, specifically in our large intestines, that are actually helpful to humans. Okay, so when we eat, there are foods that are left in our intestines. The stuff we can't digest properly. And because of those bacteria, they eat away those food that we can't digest properly. So yeah, it benefits one another. It helps the human to digest that, and it gets food. Win-win for one another. Well, there you have it. The 5 symbiotic relationships of organisms. In conclusion, the 5 symbiotic relationships are commensalism, where one benefits and the other is not affected; mutualism, where both of the organisms benefit; and competition, where they fight each other for food, water, shelter, and sunlight; predation, where they eat not one another. One eats the other for survivability; and parasitism, where one attaches itself on another so it can steal foods and nutrients from it. There you have it. Bye bye.